It's 2026, and that means AI financial planning is a slop and why Americans simply don't trust a robot advisor. Really? Yeah, that's what all the stats tell us. Let's break it down. I've actually got some notes on this one because this is a big deal. AI can write an email for you. It can sure fix your spelling. It can help you put the sentence fragments and put it all together properly. AI can become such a useful tool in our lives. But why is everyone right now trying to drive home this point and say, hey, we're powered by AI. Hey, with our Robo-Advisors, you'll have lower fees, faster decisions, and emotionless logic. Yeah, emotions are part of life. Now, I've said for years and years, emotions have a place in life, just not in finance. So when I say that, it immediately sounds like, well, that robot advisor could be perfect then. Lower fees potentially, faster decisions, emotionless logic. Well, on a piece of paper, that sounds like a really good idea. Especially maybe if you're an overwhelmed do-it-yourself investor. The problem is, it's not that AI exists, it's how it's being sold to you. That's really what we're going to be talking about here. AI has no context about you. It doesn't know you. Oh, I've talked to it every day, Mark. It's knowing me. No, it doesn't. It doesn't know your stress tolerance. It doesn't know the conversations that you and your spouse have had and what her or his fears might be. It doesn't know your health, your lifestyle, or your spending habits. It wasn't around in 1976 when I got that Ford Pinto. Well, mine was a Highline version called the Mercury Bobcat, but I figured nobody would even understand what that was. What does that have to do with it? Well, I had that car and it was my freedom, but it's not what I wanted. It's what I had. AI doesn't know those dreams that I had all those years ago. And how one day, if I ever personally retire, how I want to take those dreams and turn them away from dreams and into memories. You see, AI doesn't know that I plan on dying with memories, not dreams. And it doesn't even know what your dreams are or how it would turn those into memories. It doesn't know your health, your lifestyle, your spending habit. It optimizes numbers, not lives. And if you've watched anything at all on Living Large Retirement, you know the one part of this entire puzzle picture when you're heading towards retirement, it's not about a number. It's about a spending plan. AI models are built on historical data. So was the 4% rule. That's a big one. The inventor, the author, I should say, of the 4% rule is on record saying it doesn't work. But it was based on historical data that did work on the years it was based on. Retirement failures usually happen during, let's talk about market crashes, inflation spikes, health events. These are edge of life cases, edge of life crises. They're not called averages. The moment things get weird is the moment retirement planning actually matters. And let me be very clear, in your retirement journey, it will get weird. Things are gonna happen. Some things that you expect and many things that you don't expect. That's why the channel's here in the first place. Now's a good time. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps us. And we're trying to get this algorithm to get this message out to more and more people. So I'm asking, please hit that like and subscribe button. Let me ask you a question. How can you hold AI accountable? Look, I saw Terminator. Remember that? Skynet and how it took over? Well, you're gonna get on AI and chat GPT or Grok 4.7, 26, whatever it's called this week. You're gonna yell at it? Well, that might not work out if it actually takes over. You see, AI doesn't have a fiduciary responsibility. That's why I've always encouraged people. Listen, nothing wrong when you're in your 20s and 30s working with a stockbroker. But once you start to have some money, it's time to switch over and work with a fiduciary advisor. AI has no legal obligation to adjust and help you when life changes. Who are you going to call when the markets are down 30 or 40%? If an AI plan fails, who do you blame? The algorithm? We don't trust the institutions we once believed in because they're being exposed as wrong. Mainstream media, we don't trust it the way it was once done. You used to turn on the evening news with Dan Rather, Walter Mondale, all these different great people that we trusted. We don't trust them anymore. Well, guess what? People want to understand the why. AI answers often sound confident, but extremely vague. And that's why when you're using AI to write your emails, you better be careful, because in this day and age, most people know if it's coming from you or AI powered. And as much as I'd like to think AI can sound like me, let me be very clear. There's only one Mark Henry. And people say, no, there's not. There's somebody that's even more famous than you are. Stop it. I love that Mark Henry. He was a great wrestler, and I'm not a wrestler, but guess what? He ain't as good looking as I am. Let's be clear about that. Well, think about this when it comes to AI. AI answers can sound so confident, but are so vague and lacking detail because they don't have the clarity that someone that truly understands you would have. It's especially dangerous when it comes to money decisions. Confidence without explanation, I would call that reckless. How about that? How about this? Because retirement is emotional. Now, the finance part shouldn't be, but we should be able to retire and have emotions about what we want to do without fear of running out. Fear of running out of money is the number one thing. Listen, living large is not about having more. Living large is about fearing less. Tell me how a Robo-Advisor is going to understand that and help calm you or your wife or your husband or who when these things happen. Fear of becoming dependent. Now listen, this is an area that I was so proud of my daughter, Amy. She's a school teacher down in Wilmington, teaches first grade. But she saw me talking to my AI assistant and she said, you named yours? I said, no, I made it name itself. And she goes, how much do you use it? I said, I use it every day. She goes, well, I want you to be careful, Dad, because this will take away critical thinking if you're relying on it to give you the answers. Well, she is so smart and she is correct. I don't do that. I have my opinions. I ask it for its opinion on the matter to see what else might be available, what other options might be. But at the end of the day, I'm making the decisions. I'm solving the problems and then backing up my work with ChatGPT or Grok. And then you have to check the work they do, because I find them wrong a lot. People don't want a robot telling them, statistically, I think you'll be fine. Well, I know what fine means in the Henry house when I go home and ask my lovely better half of 32 plus years, hey, honey, how was your day? Fine. And then she walks the other direction. Yeah. Now it's my job to figure out what I did or didn't do. You're really going to try to do that with AI? People have been burned before. How far back do we have to go? Listen, I remember very clearly Alan Greenspan, and I can show you a clip on this. Maybe I'll put that out there for you, where he was talking in the 90s about, be careful, the S&P is overvalued. Hey, everybody's on this run. I think we're due for a pullback. He was literally telling people to be cautious.
But how do we know when irrational exuberance has unduly escalated asset values, which then become subject to unexpected and prolonged contractions, as they have in Japan over the past decade?
Alan Greenspan, chairman of the Fed. And then the markets went on to have a fantastic run in the 90s, heading up till the dot-com bubble. Well, what about 2008? What about 2020? What about the bond market in 22? What about inflation shock? The experts have been wrong before. You believe an algorithm is going to be right every time? Because it feels like a lot more of the same. Trust is extremely fragile. when it comes to retirement because you only get one chance to do it right. I made tons of mistakes in my 20s, 30s, and 40s. You get one chance to do retirement correctly. Where does AI actually belong in financial planning, in my opinion? Well, think about this. AI is extremely useful for data organization. Scenario modeling, I use it that way all the time. Give me some other alternatives is what things I would say to AI. Stress testing my assumptions. Again, that's an example as I was explaining to my daughter, the teacher that was encouraging me or challenging me to make sure I don't lose critical thinking by relying on it too much. Not doing that. Stress testing an assumption. Administrative efficiency. That's incredible. It's incredibly good at that. Incredibly good. You see, I look at AI as a tool, not a planner. It doesn't do what I do. It can't understand what I've taken my entire life to understand. First off, one of the things that makes me so good at what I do is the fact that I know what it's like to have money, a lot of it, and I know what it's like to lose it because I've done that. And let me be very clear, I came back stronger than ever, but it taught me so much about myself, about who I am. It really taught me to never love money. You know, that's a sin. Money is a tool, and I use it as a tool now. But I'm one of the crazy advisors that you could actually meet that knows what it's like to have money and knows what it's like to lose it all and have to start over. Because I've had to do that. And I don't want to do it again. And I don't want any of the people that I get to work with or the people that follow us on my channel to make the mistakes that causes them to go through what I personally went through. And you can say, well, many people, when they know the situation inside and out, they go, well, Mark, there was nothing you could have done. There's always something I could have done. Yes, my decisions were right at the time I made them, but I didn't know what was coming. That's another reason why the AI algorithm may help you make the right decision, but it doesn't know what's coming. And I'm not telling you that I know, because I certainly don't, but I know what happens when the wrong thing happens at the wrong time, and I don't want that for the people that I choose to work with. Here's what AI cannot do in my belief. I talked about what it can do and do well, scenario modeling, stress testing. How about this? Replace human judgment. AI algorithms have a long way to go. Look, I saw the movie. I know Skynet's real. It's coming one day, who knows? But right now, that algorithm's not even close. It can't replace a fiduciary responsibility, a license that I take very near and dear, that I worked very hard to get, and one that I won't lose. It can't replace an ongoing relationship and accountability. You see, at Alloy Wealth, we have to sit down. I have only licensed fiduciary advisors. And my clients that I still work with, I have to sit in front of them and look them in the eye. AI doesn't have to do that. The real danger I see, especially for retiree and pre-retiree, is a very false confidence. AI plans often make people feel prepared until the world changes in a way that the AI algorithm could never understand today, until a market shift, until life happens. Tell me the AI algorithm's prepared for your wife, husband falling, breaking a hip, and not being able to, and now you have to hire workers to come into your home to help. Maybe the recovery doesn't go the way you planned. Tell me the AI algorithm was built around my wife getting breast cancer in 2018 and the changes I had to make in my personal life to help her through what at the time was one of the toughest things I've ever been through. Tell me the AI algorithm that's built about me having to have a kidney replacement in 2023 of November, the changes and things that I had to do to keep my business running, my family running, while I also went through a kidney replacement. See, life will happen. The Bible's been very clear. You can't build your walls high enough. You can't store enough grain up to be okay. But I bet you an AI algorithm believes you can, because it doesn't understand what we understand is real human beings. Withdrawals become real. False confidence, in my opinion, may be more dangerous than no confidence at all. I want you to think about this. While AI can help you crunch numbers, retirement is not about a number. I've talked about that so many times. It's about making sure your life works when things in life don't go according to the plan. If you want a retirement plan built on understanding, adaptability, and accountability, that's going to take real human judgment. Technology should support our plans, not pretend to replace them. If you're wondering whether your retirement plan is strategy or software, that's a conversation that I'd like to engage with you on. That's a conversation worth having. You're 28 years old and you want AI to help you pick the next stock portfolio for a very aggressive portfolio because you're 28 and you can afford to risk it, I think AI could be very appropriate. When you're 28 and you really don't have a lot of money saved, it's going to be really hard to go find an advisor like me to work with. You say, well, Mark, that's terrible. No, it's the truth. You're 28 and have no money, I can't work with you. AI can. You're 45 and have money, I can work with you. 55, 65, 75. Not only can I work with you, I can help you build a plan done by one of my certified financial planners and get you on an actual confident financial future. I can address the emotions and how you feel about your money. Remember, after all, it's your money. AI is using an algorithm to help understand and tell you what you should do with your money. That's not what I do as an advisor. As an advisor, I give you advice. It's your job to decide what you're going to do with that advice. I think AI is an amazing tool that I could have never envisioned 20 or 30 years ago. I don't know who could have other than a movie. But today, does it have its place in our lives? Absolutely. Does it have a place helping a 60-year-old navigate retirement? Absolutely not. It can be a tool because that's what it is. Hey, hit that like and subscribe button. I want to get this algorithm to push this content out to more people because I truly want to help you have a confident financial future.